Hello everyone. Today we are going to look at a Nimzo Larsen attack game. This game is from 1957. With the white pieces is Esteban Canal, and with the black pieces is Hans Mueller. And the game started out B3, knight of 6, bishop B2, D6, G3, E5, bishop G2, G6, D4, threatening to win a pawn. E takes, and now knight F3, bishop G7, knight takes D4, castles, D5, E3 here, C6, and knight D2, knight BD7, and now C4, attacking the center. D takes C4, knight takes C4, and here black played the move king to H8. Alright, so first of all, why would I show this game? It's a random game, right? But what I want to illustrate here is, first of all, a few um, general principles that can be applied in all of the chess openings. And one of them is what to do in kind of symmetrical looking positions here. It is very important that in positions that are pretty much symmetrical, the side that gains an initiative first is usually going to have the better game. If you look at this position here, it doesn't look like um, either side has some type of great advantage right on first look. But upon deeper analysis, you will find that white actually has a pretty strong position here. Okay, black is in a lot of danger here. The main reason is one is that white is ahead in development and he has a better piece location. If you look at his bishops and his knights, right, particularly, and contrast them with black's bishops and black's knights, white's pieces are better. White also has more space. As you can see, he occupies the first four ranks as opposed to black only occupying the first three. And another very important point is this D6 square that can be occupied by a piece, and also this very powerful diagonal A3 to F8, again, where the D6 square is very important. These things are all in white's favor and give white a substantial advantage in this position. Although black is pretty solid, he's extremely passive and he does not have good development. His pieces are kind of awkward, um, and kind of bumping into each other here. And the reason is because black played a little bit passively early on in the opening. Just for example, instead of playing C6 here, C5 is a good alternative, right? Hitting the knight, 92, knight C6. Black has no worries. Okay, just right off the top of my head, let's say knight BD2. Then you can just shoot out the bishop or play a move like rook E8 to be extra solid. Okay, and keep an eye on the semi-open E file. All right, though that's the type of style I would play in. These moves like this are, of course, solid, but you're not posing any problems for the opponent. And what happens often when you play passively is the opponent will do what he wants to do in the position. So this game continued after C6 here, knight D2, knight BD7, C4, D takes, knight takes. Black played this move that it's kind of like a time-wasting move, King H8. Now, I just mentioned some of the issues Black had to deal with as far as being behind in development, him not having as much space as White. Why not deal with these more important issues like completing your development or challenging the encroachment of White on in your position? Okay. Anytime your opponent's pieces, right, exert influences in your territory, okay, your antennas should be going up. For instance, the e5 square is controlled by white, but this is black's territory. All right, you should be trying to do something about that. Okay, same with d6. You should be trying to do something that should be on the agenda, right? To take back control of squares in your opponent's territory. Conversely, notice how black really can't um, do anything in white's territory right now. He can't jump to e4 or use the g4 square. White's center and white's territory is well protected. So instead of doing a time wasted move like king h8, knight b6, again addressing one of the problems in the position. And then play can continue, say queen e2. Just get rid of that. And you can see the difference. Rook fd1, queen c7. This is all like, some typical play in the position. But you're addressing the problems. You're not just acting like you don't know what's going on. So king h8 is a big time, a waste of time here. And Esteban just continues his development. He plays rook c1. He could have already played a move like bishop a3, but he wants to complete his development. Knight e8, queen e2, and now knight b6. But now white, by this time, white is able to develop an initiative. So now rook fd1. So now you have problem with the queen. It's hard to figure out where to put the queen now. If you go to e7, boom, bishop a3. And if c5, knight a5, and then you have pressure here. Okay, this guy's pinned. You have the rook here now, bishop here now, and black is lost. You go to queen c7. Again, you had the problem with the rook on the c file, and a move like knight a5 is pretty strong. Knight takes, of course, knight takes b6 is possible, and maybe following up with knight c6. That's just to illustrate, that black has wasted a little time, and already, now he's having trouble finishing his development. So here, after rook fd1, he played queen g5. This again allows white to go for an initiative. So bishop a3 is on the table. f4. Here, Esteban just played knight f3. So he opened up the bishop, and he attacks the knight at the same time. Queen f5 is a mistake, again, allowing white to continue his pursuit of the initiative. Safer would have been a move like queen h5. So queen f5 was played, but then now the queen is hit by e4, queen e6, and now bishop a3. Notice how once the ball is rolling with this initiative, black is just being pushed back on his heels, and now he can't complete his development. White is taking more and more ground. Rook g8. Now the rook is in a totally nonsensical position. It looks like Fisher random now on the black side. Knight g5 again, pushing the initiative. Queen f6, now f4, which is very powerful because you have threats of e4, e5 coming. Knight takes e4, rook takes e4, h5. You have this, idea, but e5 is first, queen f5, and now just bishop h3 is devastating with the knight here on g5. Oops, sorry, knight here on g5, backing up the bishop here, and so queen takes g5, and the game was over. And of course, Esteban rubbed it in by taking the bishop on c8, and instead of the queen, still winning, of course. And Mueller was forced to resign that game. So the game, all those relatively unknowns, packed with good lessons in chess. One of them that you can take from this game is be careful of just playing too passively, because if you look at this position after move 12, it looks like it's no big deal. Like, black is a little cramped, but it just looks like, maybe they'll shake hands, agree to a draw. But after this time-wasting move, king h8, it really allowed white to kick up an initiative in a few moves. And once the ball got rolling, white really steamrolled black in this position here. Okay, so that's it for this game. I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Please donate and check the links below. There's also DVDs slash books, and they'll always be related to the opening that was discussed on the board. So today we have a Nimzo Larson attack. So there'll be some like DVDs or links to DVDs slash videos and books. Based on that opening. So I'll see you guys on the next video.